Hello, I'm Michael Diamond, and you're watching Muscle Central. Okay, 2020 Mr. Olympia is in the books. Uh, I have a little egg on my face for my predictions. Not a lot, but a little. Uh, Let me just run through who I had for the top six in my predictions. I predicted Brandon Curry would take first, regain the retain the title. Hadi Chupin second, William Bonac third, Phil Heath fourth, Dexter Jackson fifth, and Big Ramy sixth. I also had Akeem Williams eighth, but I made a mention that it's very possible and it wouldn't surprise me if he moved up as high as fifth or sixth. And okay, here's the placings, top six placings that actually happened. We have Big Ramy, first place. Brandon Curry, second. Phil Heath, third. Hadi Chupin, fourth. William Bonac, fifth. And Akeem Williams, sixth. Let me, where do I start? Let me start with Phil Heath. Now, you can't argue the fact that he lost his title because of his midsection. The rest of his body looked pretty much what we expected Phil Heath. It was the out-of-control midsection, and it was an ongoing thing, and the judges weren't going to have it anymore. After all, it doesn't matter what pose you're doing. Whatever pose you're hitting, with front bicep, front of a bicep, back of a bicep, side chest, there's a muscle that's a focal point, but the judges should be looking at everything that's in view, the whole body, and the abs are in view in many of the poses, most of the poses. So they have to be taken into consideration when you're judging every pose. Initially, Phil Heath looked like he had some control over the midsection. Personally, I don't think it was enough anyway, but he initially had better control over the midsection. They were pressed very hard with the judging. Steve Weinberger really worked them, and his midsection just went pretty much like what we saw in his loss to Sean Roden. On top of that, the rest of his body, I'm not saying he looked bad, he looked like crap, but the rest of his body just wasn't the Phil Heath that we were used to seeing. Even when he turned around and the back shots, which he usually dominated, they were good, but it wasn't what we have always expected and seen from Phil Heath. No pun intended. I had him fourth. People thought I was crazy for putting him fourth. And he got third. I don't even think he deserved fourth place. If it wasn't Phil Heath on that stage, if it was just somebody else who hasn't won a Mr. Olympia, didn't win 7 Mr. Olympias, he might not have placed in the top 6. That's my opinion, and from what I'm hearing other people on other YouTube channels, a lot of them are pretty much agreeing, saying the same thing. Uh, Big Ramy's where I had egg on my face. But I have said, and I've said it in one of my videos, Brandon will win unless, and my unless was Big Ramy comes in condition, hits the conditioning, nails his conditioning. Could his conditioning been better? Of course, it could always be better. But his conditioning was the best we've ever seen, and it was plenty good enough that night. Can he make some improvements? Yes, there was still some improvements that he could make. That doesn't mean he didn't bring enough to win. And I have no argument with it. Ramy, Big Ramy, Mamdou Elsbey earned his victory at the 2020 Mr. Olympia. Now, second and third place, it could have went either way. It's, Brandon brought in a better package than he brought in last year. Looked a little fuller, a little better conditioning. He brought up his back more. There was more detail on his back. Probably the biggest knock on Brandon is that his legs could be a little bigger for his upper body. But then you could also say that Ramy's upper body could be a little bigger for his legs. His legs are so massive. And you can say the same thing about Hardy. Hardy's upper body could be a little bigger for his legs, because his legs are a little overpowering. But other than Brandon's legs not quite matching his upper body, doesn't mean he brought in bad legs. He brought in really good legs. Nice detail to him. And from the back, glutes, hams, just a little shy on size. Hardy nailed his conditioning like he always does. And why I say it could have gone either way, I think in comparing the two of them, it really is apples and oranges. They're two totally different physiques. And granted, Hardy brought in better conditioning than Brandon, but Brandon still brought in good conditioning. Hardy brought in better conditioning, but Brandon has better structure, shape, and flow. So, which one are you going to go for? The one with the better conditioning, or the other one who still has good conditioning, but he also has better shape, flow, and structure. It's a matter of what you prefer. I would have no argument. Brandon got second, Hardy got third. I would have no argument either way. It would have fell. If it would have fell Hardy second, Brandon third, it wouldn't matter. You can make an argument either or. So that covers my first, second, and third. Phil Heath, like I said, I placed him fourth in my predictions, and if it was anybody else, he might not have placed top six. William Bonac, without a doubt, should have been in there, and he should have been fourth place. William Bonac probably looked a little better Saturday night as opposed to Friday night. Maybe it would have went a little differently if he'd have brought in the same package Friday night as he brought in Saturday night. But in my opinion, fourth place was fair. He definitely deserved fourth place over Phil Heath. And Akeem Williams, he brought it. I initially placed him in my predictions 8th with a little what's the word? I can't even think of the word I use. A little note that he could place as high as 6th or maybe even 5th, and he did place 6th. He deserved to be in 5th place, right behind William Bonac. And you know what? He's gotten better and better over the last few shows since he's been working with Oscar Arden. And his conditioning was good. And he has a lot of muscle. And if he'd come in a little better conditioning, which he can, and I think he will next time, he might have jumped ahead of William Bonac, but he just carries that much muscle. He's a very, very big man. And okay, if you want, I'll give you Phil Heath 6th. Whether I would have actually placed him 6th, I don't think so. And I'm going to leave this video right here. That'll be the end. It was an exciting Mr. Olympia. We saw Ramy finally bring in conditioning in the lines of the kind of conditioning we want to see him bring. And it can be better. And maybe Chad Nichols has figured out exactly what to do to him. Maybe bringing him into the country and sticking with Dennis James for the last few weeks before the Olympia to babysit him was also to their benefit, which helped him achieve the look that he needed to achieve, kept pressed him with his training, posing, kept his mindset right, kept him mentally at ease, and maybe he'll set up his training base when he's preparing for the Olympia in the United States. Stay with, I don't know if Dennis James will open his house up to him for 4 months at a shot. Ramy can get himself an apartment close to Dennis, work with Dennis in the training. Chad Nichols will take care of everything else. And we might be seeing a new era in bodybuilding, the era of the mass monster returning. We saw it when Dorian popped on the stage. Ronnie carried on the tradition, and it kind of fell off after Jay. Maybe with Big Ramy, now everybody's going to be chasing the size game again. Because if Ramy comes in condition over and over again, the only way to compete with him is not only conditioning, is bringing in the size. So we might be seeing a new Mass Monster era. That's it for this video. If you agree or disagree with what I've said, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share and by all means subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. This way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. Once again, this is Michael Diamond. I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.